Dear students, in my previous class I have discussed the sterile products, same chapter, chapter 5 of quality control and quality assurance. Today I'll continue that with the other topic, that is process control in the manufacturing operations and controls. So the topic is aseptic process control. So what is the meaning of the aseptic? That means aseptic. The term aseptic indicates controlled conditions in which the microbial contamination to be reduced to that microorganisms can be excluded from product during the processing process. Okay. Aseptic indicates controlled condition in which the microbial contamination is reduced. And the sterile products should be free from microorganisms, even pyrogens, and should have extremely high standards of quality and purity. So the importance or significance should be given to design and process control involved in producing the final product. So then let us see about the contents. Tests to be carried out in order to ensure the conditions as per the parameters. That's one. And general requirements of the area is employed for the manufacture of sterile products exclusively. Then procedures for governing of the sterilized uniform. One is the test to be carried out to ensure the conditions as per the parameters, design parameters. Another one, general requirement of that particular area should be employed for the manufacture of sterile products. And then third one is the procedure for gowning of the sterilized uniform. They should follow the procedure for gowning also. Then airflow and uniformity test. And uniformity test. Main objective for this is airflow and uniformity test is to verify air velocity when new filters are installed, and also to determine air system is capable of delivering sufficient air volume or not. Our objective of how to verify the air velocity when which circumstances new filters are installed. Procedures. How to check this airflow and uniform. Hot wire anemometer, that is thermal anemometer, is used for the measurement should be taken minimum of how much period of 15 seconds at different locations. The probe should be placed at a specified distance from the interface. The air velocity should be read directly and recorded in minutes per. So then calculation of air changes per hour is V test into the 3600 C, that is the V is average velocity. You have to calculate even surface area of the HEPA filters, surface area of that particular filter, and C is the volume of the room. Okay, so the number of air changes per hour should be at least one. Have to calculate in such. So this is a small image. Then temperature control test. The temperature control test procedure is, so here you have to take a calibrated dry bulk thermometer. So it is commonly used, no, but for the measurement of the temperature. Then air conditioning system and lights must be in the operation for 24 hours. That should be there, air conditioning 24 hours. Then temperature at different predetermined areas of the room is measured every 15 minutes for 2 hours. You have to measure the temperature at different predetermined areas of the room. Take one room in that only, they have to predetermined areas, they have to measure the temperature every 15 minutes for 2 hours. This is a thermometer. Image. Then humidity control test. So in case of humidity control test, the main objective is to evaluate the ability of the air handling system to control the relative humidity at the right test. Then what should be evaluated? The ability of the air handling system. The procedure. Here involves here is a wet bulb and dry bulb thermometer. An automatic humidity recorder should be used for the measurement. What for? Humidity control. Then the system must be in operation for 6 hours before the measurement. Then humidity at different places is measured. Then the relative humidity must be between 45% to 5%. That is the humidity control test. And next is pressure control test. So in this case, the objective is to demonstrate the ability of the system to control pressure levels within the limits that is there. What is the procedure involved? So in this case, equipment used in pressure gauge or manometer should be used. Pressure differential is measured in the upstream duct, the HEPA filter. Then the procedure is replaced. Measure the pressure in the downstream duct of HEPA filter. That is also there. One downstream. And the manometer reading must be recorded twice a day. There. Then the pressure differential should be maintained within the specified limits. Aseptic area pressure must be higher than the pressure in the surrounding non-aseptic areas. So this is how we measure small image. Then the test for airflow pattern. So in this case, objective is to determine an airflow pattern that generates minimum turbulence. Procedure. A white visible or yellow smoke generator or pencils of titanium chloride are used to generate the smoke is generated in critical locations of the room. The flow is considered acceptable only if it shows flow in proper direction. Smoke flows back due to turbulence. This should be made and done. Because we are testing the airflow pattern. The airflow pattern is termed acceptable when there is no backflow of the smoke due to the indication. And readjustment should be done if wherever necessary and whenever necessary. And decontamination time. So in this, to determine the capabilities of a system to recover from an internally generated contamination, this one. So here, for decontamination time, we have to determine the capabilities of system to recover from an internally generated contamination. Then the normal practice count of the room is to be determined. The particle count is usually increased by using a smoke generator. The particle counts should be taken continuously as the time taken for the count to come back to the normal levels is determined. Recovery time should be within the limits. So we do that. Decontamination time. Then gowning area. That means wearing gowning and all in the sterile areas, aseptic areas. The gowning area must be adjacent to the sterile area. Then it should be adjacent to the sterile area. The air pressure must be maintained to prevent the flow of air between the growing area and the external environment. The gowning area and the external environment, and the even the gowning area and the aseptic. That means air pressure must be maintained or for to prevent the flow of air between the gowning area and the external environment also, and gowning area and the aseptic area. Then it must be easy to disinfect and be flushed with filtered air. Then it must have an appropriate mechanism to prevent the opening of more than one door at a time. Then entry to the area must be restricted to operating personnel only. Cannot be entered or allowed. The area must have the adequate facilities, even for washing, cleaning, and drying of hands, and also for the storage of clean, sterile garments, and also for the disposal of the used garments. We should have the adequate for all these things: is washing, cleaning, drying, and storage of the clean, sterile garments, and disposal of the used garments. The room should have the provision for the protection of different stages of changing, uh, thereby minimizing the microbial and particulate contamination of protective garment. Should also have the provision for the separation of different stages changing, and thereby minimizing the microbial and particulate contamination. So they wear the gowning and all the uniform sterile products. Here we can look into that. Cap should be there, hood should be there, face mask should be there, cap should be under hood, and safety glasses, gloves for the hands, coveralls, then shoe covers, under boots. So this is how they should wear the gowning, the sterile and aseptic area. General requirements. What are the minimum general requirements? The general requirements was number one is they should have an access to clean and aseptic areas. Should have access to clean and aseptic area. Should be only through changing rooms. Okay, where normal factory clothing is exchanged for special protective garments, commonly referred as gowns. Then donning of sterile garments is called as gowning procedure. Donning they call, and it is mainly done to minimize the microbial contamination. Then the General rules must be followed while entering the sterile area. Following general rules. It should be that is, the clean area is normally reached passing through 3 change rooms. They have to change 3 rooms to reach the cleaning area. Then change over from street clothes and shoes to factory uniform and footwear in the common change room facility should be provided only at the entrance of the plant, not in any sterile areas. What is that? The street clothes and wearing shoes and coming to the factory uniform along with uniform and footwear should be in the common change room facility provided. Where it is provided, it should be provided at the entrance of the plant. One. Then hands and feet should be thoroughly washed with soap and water before putting on uniform. Okay, before they wear the uniform, they should be hand and feet should be thoroughly washed. Both the doors of the change room should not be open simultaneously in the entry or exit to the sterile area. Then the entries of the personnel should be restricted and the number of persons in the change room at one point of time should be predetermined. That means at a time you cannot send some 50 members with 25 members, not like that. It should be restricted. Each of the personnel should be restricted and the number of persons in the change room one point of time should be predetermined. Then operators working in the clean and the aseptic rooms open and shut the doors gently. Those who are working there, operators in clean and aseptic should open and shut the doors very gently. Not rush or run the rooms and avoid especially talking. Fumigation. What is this fumigation? The environment in the aseptic area should be controlled to keep the bioburden at such a level so that the microorganisms can be excluded during the processing and packaging the sterile products. So usually the formaldehyde is often used to fumigate rooms. Vapor from even hydrogen peroxide can also be used to sterilize the rooms. Both formaldehyde and even the vapors of H2O, hydrogen peroxide, can also be used to sterilize rooms. Formaldehyde for fumigate rooms. So the major advantage of using the hydrogen peroxide is that the vapor gets converted into water vapor and oxygen, thus leaving no harmful products. That is the reason hydrogen peroxide is used. Major advantage. Procedure. So sometimes this formaldehyde, whenever we go for fumigating, it is irritating to the eyes and also skin. So therefore, what should be done? Both for eyes and skin, it is irritating. Then the gloves. Therefore, rubber gloves and goggles must be worn by the person fumigating the room. Okay. So the person must leave the room as soon as possible after placing the formalin solution at the predetermined location. Okay. There, you should leave the room that placing the solution, formalin solution. So prior to fumigation, the area must be cleaned and sanitized. For fumigation, that particular area should be cleaned and sanitized. Then air supply and exhaust systems are shut off during the fumigation. Both the air supply, even the exhaust systems not be working. That should be shut off during the fumigation. And even UV lights off. Monitoring of temperature and humidity is essential during the fumigation. That's the most important aspect. And the formaldehyde vapors are effective at relative humidity of not less than 5 degrees centigrade. That's one. They are effective vapors. That is, formaldehyde vapors effective at relatively low limit, relatively low humidity, not less than 50% at 25 degrees. So here, formaldehyde solution is placed in stainless steel containers equipped with perforated lid. So they place. So this container is placed on a hot plate. So what happens during fumigation? The blower must be put off, and potassium permanganate can also be used as an alternative for that, formaldehyde. Then the entrances to this area are sealed, and the area is left undisturbed for a period of time to ensure the proper sterilization. Once you do the fumigation, you have kept for fumigation, that area should be, entrances and all should be sealed, and that area should be left undisturbed for a sufficient period of time to ensure the proper sterilization. After a certain period of time, the exhaust should be put on. The room should be flushed with clean filtered air. After that, the room should be flushed with clean filtered air. Then the operator can enter the area and remove the formalin container. The stainless steel container with perforated lids. Surfaces are then wiped with a suitable disinfectant. That container talking. Then UV lamps are cleaned and then switched on. Then nutrient aware plates are exposed at various critical locations to ensure that fumigation is brought down the microbial load within acceptable limits. So that means, I repeat, that after certain period of time, the exhaust system should be put on. That means after fumigation, the room should be flushed with clean and filtered air. Then the operator can then enter the area and remove the formalin container because he kept for the fumigation purpose. Then the surfaces are then wiped with a suitable disinfectant. So we do generally in the industry they do the aseptic process control. There are the few references. That is Yes Shah, UML secondary. Even you can also have the pharmaguidelines.com and Google also. So the other topics I will continue in the same chapter in the next class. Thank you.